Greetings, beautiful people. Welcome back to Uncle Lou's Kitchen. Folks, what is cracking? Got a special episode for you today. Another masterclass. We're in the studio with
Michal.
So Michal's very, very unique in the fact that she's got a very diverse background. So every bit of DNA in her blood comes from places that make incredible food. So what are we making today?
So filled artichokes in tomato sauce.
Yes. So the way this all came about was a few weeks back, we were at a dinner party with friends and she made it then and I was like, this is like the most amazing artichokes I've ever had, and lucky you folks, we're here today and we're going to learn how to make them again. So, as always, if you like vegan food, vegetarian, plant-based, or no animals, or no products on the channel, hit the like button, hit subscribe, and I will love you for it. Ciao for now folks, let's get cooking.
Starting?
So we begin. Yes. Hi, Michal.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Okay, so we're starting with actually the meat, so the filling. So we'll take the meat-free minced that we have. Need some oil here. Not a lot, just a little bit so we can fry the meat together with the onions. I'll take half of the amount. We'll start frying it. Okay, and we start with our spices, a little bit of paprika. We're gonna need salt and pepper as well.
So that's cumin and both the paprikas at the moment. Yeah, what's this one?
This is garlic.
Oh, right, so the garlic paste, yeah?
Yes. A little bit. So we're going to put a little bit of black pepper. Okay. And salt. And after we opened the spices, we can now add the meat.
I think there's a bit of paper on it.
Yeah, we're going to take off the paper. It's also time for parsley, which is only, it's going to be for the meat, but also for the sauce that we're going to have.
Where'd you learn to make this?
So this is actually my mother's recipe. She used to make it with actual meat. I just did everything the same as she's doing, but just changed like the protein basically.
You're from quite an interesting mixed origin, aren't you, Michal? What's your story? Like your parents were? What's your mix?
Yes, so my mother was born in Egypt. She lived there until she was 8, and then she immigrated to Israel. But her mother is Egyptian, but her father is actually Greek, so half and half. My father is actually from Iraq. He was born in Iraq, but his father was from Turkey. So you can say that I have like 4 quarters of Middle Eastern origins, you could say. So we ate very well at home.
Of course.
I think I'm gonna turn it off right now, just because I don't want this to be fully cooked, because then at some point we're gonna put it in the oven and we don't want it to be overcooked. So right now I'll put it here to chill for a little bit and we'll start working on the sauce.
Amazing.
Meanwhile.
Okay, so now that we have the meat resting and chilling a little bit, now we can start working on the sauce. And the basics for my mother's every sauce basically is going to be onions and tomatoes, spices and parsley. This is the basics for almost everything. So we're starting the same as we did with the meat. So a little bit of oil just so we can fry the onions. Remember the onions that we saved for the sauce, so now they're playing a role. Now the sauce is important because it's gonna give the flavor to the dish. So even if the meat is not spiced enough, the sauce will do the work. So we're gonna add spices already, okay, just to open them in the oil. Same spices. So I put some paprika, hot and sweet, and now black pepper, salt, and garlic. Add tomatoes. And we're gonna let the tomatoes soften a little bit. And they're gonna create their own sauce, but just to give it a little bit of a kick, we're also gonna add a puree. And just like we did with the meat, we're gonna add some parsley as well. I'm gonna add some liquids soon because this is not liquidy enough. So if you have water, you can always add a little bit of water to see that it's actually in the right texture. It should be a sauce, right? So just like a spaghetti or pasta sauce, we should get the same texture.
So just while we're here, because I know I took the snapshot earlier, but we've ended up only using about a pinch of the cumin, literally just a pinch of each, and that's been for the total of like maybe half a teaspoon of each of these things for both the mincemeat and the sauce itself.
Exactly. And again, I think that like my mother and a lot of other people in my family, so we don't have like an exact recipe. Usually when I ask her to send me the recipe of what she's cooking, she's always like, put this, but she doesn't have the amounts of nothing. So basically it's according to your taste. So what I do, I taste it. If it tastes like my mother's, it's okay. If it doesn't taste like my mother's, I need to fix it. So if you don't know the recipe and you never tasted my mother's artichoke, so you can always just taste and see if it's good. If it's good in your mouth, it means that it's perfect. So we'll let the sauce rest on a lower fire, just so it will get a little bit softer and more liquidy. And in the meantime, we're gonna take the meat and we'll start filling the artichokes inside of the meat inside of the artichokes. So we're gonna take the meat, which is now not cold, but it's not as hot as it used to be, and we're gonna start filling the artichokes. These are frozen artichokes, but you can definitely take fresh ones. The important thing is that they're defrozen, so don't use a frozen. Don't use them while they're frozen, and start filling the artichokes with the meat. Okay. Now, as you can see, this is why it was important to cut the meat a little bit, so it will be easier to work with it. Okay, once you have it, the next step would be to put it in flour. The reason that we put it in flour is that it will hold.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yes. And it also gives it a little bit of a crisp.
Hmm.
So we do this, put it here. Just for now, we're gonna fry it afterwards, but we're gonna prepare all of them first. And the next part would be to fry them. So again, filling. Okay, so almost final phase, but not the last step. So we're gonna start slightly frying the artichokes. So we're gonna need, as you can see, oil again, right? So this is the basics. Putting a little bit of oil to fry. Okay, you don't need deep oil, but just enough for the artichokes. And as you can see, we prepared all the artichokes in the flour, and now we can slightly fry it. Don't worry, they won't fall apart because we do have the flour. Okay, that's basically enough. We don't need more than that.
Oh, it's like you had to live for the rest of your life on one cuisine, what country would it be?
Oh wow. It wouldn't even be a country, it would be a region. So I would say Florence because of their truffles and because their pasta and truffle sauce is vegan and it's really, really tasty. I just love truffles and mushrooms in general.
Do you not find that truffles become overbearing after a while? That flavour, like it gets boring after like...
No, it can't. No, I can't get bored out of from truffles. You know, it's just so good. And mushrooms in every form, every taste.
Yes,
I
of
guess.
course, mushrooms are life.
This is my thing. Mushrooms and surprising like fun fact, palm. How do you call them?
Oh, palm hearts.
Palm hearts. Yes.
I love palm hearts. That's amazing.
I always say that being romantic is not bringing me flowers or chocolate or anything like that. Just bring me a can of palm hearts, and you're good. And he, yeah, my partner knows that this is what he should do, and he buys me with palm hearts every time. Okay, and now when we have this ready, we're almost done. What we need to do is to take the sauce and basically drown our artichokes in sauce. What we're gonna need here is just to cover it with aluminum paper because we want them to cook very well and we don't want them to burn.
Okay.
Just make sure that it's going to be easier for you to open the aluminium because at some point after we have some time in the oven, take off the aluminium so we could have a nice crispy layer of the artichoke. So now the aluminium is just so the meat could be cooked in the sauce, but at some point we're going to remove it.
Yeah,
just to put it like this?
Yeah, go ahead, do it.
Okay. Okay. And we're good.
Now, let's put that on 180 for, I don't know what, 30? How long?
Yes, 30 minutes, but we're gonna check earlier to see that it's cooked.
Right. So, 30 minutes have passed. 180.
Yes.
Here we go, the big moment. They smell amazing.
Putting them back.
Okay, and what, we're going to bump the temperature up or what?
No, we're gonna leave it as is.
Okay. For how long?
10 minutes more or so,
Yeah.
more or less. And just check inside to see when it gets a little bit more browny, you can take it out.
Okay, look.
20 minutes later.
And here we have it, folks. Look at that. How beautiful that is. Now, afterwards, I'm going to cut one in half and I'm going to show you what it looks like on the inside. It's absolutely stunning stuff. So, Michal, I want to say massive thank you. You've been absolutely amazing. Really lovely dish. Going to have some of that in a bit. And
Thank you for having me, Lou.
Yes, super welcome. Thank you for coming. Bye now. So, well, I'm going to cut one open for you just so you can see what it looks like on the inside. I'm going to have to use my hands. Forgive the mess. Hands are clean. But, yeah, you can see. So they're nicely stuffed. Tastes absolutely amazing. Really do. Chin chin. And there you have it, folks. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. If you did, please do consider giving it a like, comment down below, and a subscribe goes a very long way to making me a happy bunny. Once again, a massive thanks to Michal. You've been incredible, and so has this recipe. Thank you all for watching, folks. Ciao for now, and have a good week. See you on the next one.